Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Sean Woodland with Pat Sherwood and Rory McKernan. Tommy Marquez is going to be here in a little bit as well. New faces and new places. Who has changed regions? A lot of big names, especially on the women's side, and that is where we will start, where two former champions are now in new regions. And when you look at the list of ladies who have changed zip codes, the two that jump out, Samantha Briggs and Camille Leblanc-Bazinet. Samantha Briggs now in the southeast, and Camille Leblanc-Bazinet now resides in the southwest region. Let's start with Samantha Briggs. Obviously, anywhere she goes, she's going to be the favorite, but who can compete with her down there?
She's going to take one of the five spots. I mean, if you're from the southeast region, we're talking Rachel Kittelberger, Anna Tunnicliffe, Emily Bridgers, Christy Adkins, Lauren Brooks, amongst others. I hate to say it, but just consider one of those five spots gone. I mean, Briggs, better than ever, addressing weaknesses, and honestly, she's paying her bills by competing. She competes like 2 to 3 times a month, just cashing in checks, breaking necks and cashing checks. So she's got a ton of experience under her belt. You can't be happy that she showed up in your region.
And same question for Camille Leblanc-Bazinet. Anywhere she was going to go, because she's the defending champion, she's going to be the favorite. Who might be able to compete with her in that South Regional?
Well, anytime you compete with the best, your game gets risen as well. So I'm looking down there to Jen Jones, Cassidy Lance, Amanda Goodman. You know, Jen Jones got that motor, Amanda Goodman's got that amazing strength, but of course CLB's got them both. So I think she's going to be on top. But just like Pat said, we might even see some new faces now that we've opened up more spots, but CLB's absolutely going to own that place.
Yeah, on the men's side of things, we only have really one big name who changed addresses, and that is Garrett Fisher. He goes from Northern California to the Southeast. And for more on that, let's send it over to Tommy Marquez.
Thanks, Sean. Garrett Fisher became an instant celebrity in 2013 after his 5th place finish at the CrossFit Games. That undoubtedly led to some lifestyle changes, as he had to balance being the superstar trainer for rap mogul Rick Ross, as well as flying back across the country to be able to compete in the Northern California region. This year, Garrett's still training Rick Ross, but he's at least committed to being in Miami and competing in the Southeast region, and it should bode well for him as he's PR'd some of his major lifts, and he's been able to compete in a host of competitions around the world. Now, he joins a Mid-Atlantic region for the Atlantic Regional, and I fully expect Garrett Fisher to be back on top of the leaderboard come regionals time and competing at the Games in July.
All right, thanks, Tommy, and be sure to check out Tommy's article coming up on games.crossfit.com for the 15 athletes you want to watch on both the men's and the women's side heading into the 2015 CrossFit Games season. Garrett Fisher is not only changing addresses, but I don't think you can overstate how much of a lifestyle change he's making as well.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it hard for me to share the optimism that Tommy has with Garrett's schedule. I mean, being a CrossFit Games athlete is a full-time gig. I mean, you got to obsess over your rest, over your recovery, over what's going into your mouth, how you're training and where you're training. And I just don't think that boss sits down with him and compares calendars and schedules. You know, it's like he's traveling he's traveling the drop of a hat. I talked to him yesterday and he said, people just don't get that. I'm living with these people. They've got a very lavish lifestyle, and I got to be there for them all the time. So it's far cry from what he was doing when he was training all day, every day with the NorCal crew. But new region, we'll see what happens.
People have pulled it off.
People pulled it off.
And just because he's leaving what is a really competitive region in Northern California, I mean, it's not like it's getting any easier for him down there.
Right.
No, it was great. So I caught up with him yesterday, texting back and forth, and I'm like, hey, send me who you think are like your biggest threats in your new region. He's like, great. Sends back Noah Olson. He's like, kid's always had a great engine. Now he's getting stronger. That's a deadly combo. And I'm looking at my phone, and nothing else rolls in. And I write back, like, what about Ben Smith? And there's this word that begins with F and ends with K, and it's all in capital letters. And he's like, I forgot we're combining regions. He's like, oh my God, yeah, Ben Smith is a huge threat. So he does have some serious threats out there. And let's put some rumors to rest in the social media's land. He did not move out there because he thought he was moving to an easier region and thought he had a better chance of qualifying. He had an amazing job opportunity that he just could not say no to, and he still has a fight on his hands.
Yeah, as a Games athlete, tough, but as a 23-year-old kid, dream job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can't say no to that.
Yeah, you can't say no to that one. You got to take that opportunity. Well, not only do we have people changing regions, but we also have people coming back from injuries or lifestyle changes. Some big names on that list. On the men's side, most notably is Matt Chan. I mean, this guy has had more adversity he's had to face over the past year than really anybody who calls himself a Games athlete. What is he going to have to do to get himself back to where he was in 2012 when he was second to Rich Froning?
I mean, that's a tall order, and we'll get to that. But yeah, when you talk about Matt Chan's injuries, we're not talking about the regular bumps and bruises, the neural bruising of some Games athletes, but you're talking about this guy almost lost his life, literally, in a freak bicycle accident. And once it was established that his life was stabilized, he almost lost his leg. And so he's coming off of that with this new energy of, he's all in for the season, thinks that he owes it to himself and his family to kind of see this thing through. And it's a pretty cool, it's a cool place that he's coming from. But he's really modulated his goals for that. So before we get back to where he was second on the podium at the Games, he said his first goal is just to qualify for the regionals. We got the new format, and look, it's 7-8 months later, he's cleaning 300 pounds for 2 or 3. Right? So he's doing amazing things, but you got to keep it all in perspective of where he is at post-injury.
I'd be happy again to be walking up and down the stairs.
No
He's
doubt.
trying to go to the Games.
Yeah. He's won that region every time. But now we have a new format. But if he wins it this time, I mean, that's pretty incredible, because that is not an easy hill he's got to climb.
No, if he pulls this off, again, returning just to a functional life would have been incredible. If he actually wins his region and goes to the Games, it's going to be one of the biggest stories that we've covered. He actually said, when I talked to him yesterday, that he thinks the combining of regions, he's not scared about it. That's fine. He's got a lot of confidence. But he did, right off the bat, have some people that he certainly has his eye on. We're talking Tommy Hackenbrook, Brennan Fjord, Adrian Conway, Chris Hoppy, and Jordan Cook. Jordan won the South Central region last year. The only interesting thing there is, when I spoke with Hackenbrook, he said he might go team if he can put a good team together. So to be determined whether or not Hackenbrook will be individual. And Adrian Conway, a lot of hype about him last year, but we didn't get to see him compete, so he's kind of untested.
Yeah, so those guys, Conway and both Matt Chan coming back from negative things. On the women's side, Debra Cordner Carson is trying to come back from a positive development. She took last year off to add to her family, and now she's back in competition. And last year we thought that she might be poised to make a jump up the leaderboard and really make some noise at the Games. What about this year?
And right now, I haven't checked as of right now. I don't know whether or not she is signed up, but I texted with her yesterday, and she said she knows she's late signing up, but she is going to compete in the Open. And just coming back from, having the baby, she said her goal is she would love to make it to regional. So I hope she's being modest, because I want to see her back at the Games. She was always exciting.
Yeah, amazing competitor for her comeback stories. There was one year she wouldn't even get in the water. She overcame that obstacle and made a huge push at the end of the Games in the girls, and it was she's just one of those athletes. She got the Spirit of the Games award that year, and she fully deserves it. She's that kind of person. It's just fun to watch.
All right, you are all set for the 2015 Reebok CrossFit Games season. Starts in just a couple of days. Boston, Massachusetts, 15.1 live, 5 p.m. Pacific on games.crossfit.com. For Tommy Marquez, Pat Sherwood, and Rory McKernan, I'm Sean Woodland. Have fun with the Open.